In Felton State Farm.
Have you compared insurance rates lately? Are you satisfied with your current insurance provider? If not, look no further than Ray Felton State Farm, a proud sponsor of Sports on Tap. For a free quote, call his office at 234-284-2996 or visit him online at rayfelton.com.
Whether you're hosting a corporate event, wedding, conference, concert, or any other special gathering, our comprehensive range of services will exceed your expectations and elevate your event to new heights. RRT Productions. We shoot, we edit, you win. Visit our website at www.rrt-productions.com.
Hand and built leather goods. Leather goods built for life. Made by hand in the USA, all goods are made with veg-tanned leather. Some of the best quality around and made by a U.S. veteran. Check out their website, www.handbuiltleather.com.
We've got the experience, the passion, and the beach to make your event a smash hit. Whether it's a romantic wedding, a lively sports venue, or a rocking high school dance, Troutland Entertainment has you covered. Contact them at 330-414-4261 or email them at troutlandent@gmail.com. That's troutlandent@gmail.com. Presented by Raymond Felton State Farm.
Have you compared insurance rates lately? Are you satisfied with your current insurance provider? If not, look no further than Ray Felton State Farm, a proud sponsor of Sports on Tap. For a free quote, call his office at 234-284-2996 or visit him online at rayfelton.com.
Whether you're hosting a corporate event, wedding, conference, concert, or any other special gathering, our comprehensive range of services will exceed your expectations and elevate your event to new heights. RRT Productions. We shoot, we edit, you win. Visit our website at www.rrt-productions.com.
Hand and built leather goods. Leather goods built for life. Made by hand in the USA, all goods are made with veg-tanned leather. Some of the best quality around and made by a U.S. veteran. Check out their website, www.handbuiltleather.com.
We've got the experience, the passion, and the beach to make your event a smash hit. Whether it's a romantic wedding, a lively sports venue, or a rocking high school dance, Troutland Entertainment has you covered. Contact them at 330-414-4261 or email them at troutlandent@gmail.com. That's troutlandent@gmail.com. And one. And welcome everyone to Sports on Tap. I'm Rob Troutman, the host today. Where Ed Dick is taking the night off. As he was on vacation, so we're going to let him go on that. It's our Summer Spotlight Series, high school football preview. And joining us, he's head coach of the Valley Forge Patriots. He's in his 20th year of coaching football, and also is a teacher at Valley Forge. And is in his second year as head coach, and they won the GLC East for the first time since 2002. Coach Matthew Laheta joins us. And, Coach, thanks for taking time to join us here tonight. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You know, you had a great season last year. You're in your second year. From year one to year two, and, you know, you made the playoffs. You played North Ridgeville last year. Talk about what you learned from year one to year two at Valley Forge. Because, you know, there's been some ups and downs at Valley Forge, but you've really come a long way in only your second season here.
Yeah, so I think last year, I think what it kind of taught us was we started off very slow. And I think part of it was I didn't get the job until mid-June. I think I didn't even finalize a freshman staff until like early July. So we just felt, you know, with OSHA kicking up the date to, I think it's like May 15th or whatever, we were just behind the ball. So I think our big thing was kind of challenging the kids and our team and our staff. Like, let's try to be ready for our first 7-on-7. Let's try to be ready for our first scrimmage this year. Let's try to be competitive early in the year. So we just kind of tweaked a little bit in our off season and, you know, just kind of how we interacted with kids this off season and kind of encouraged them to play some other sports just to get that competitiveness out of them. And we're hoping that, you know, maybe we'll notice a difference in the next couple weeks.
Wow, I mean, usually when we get on here, our coaches talk about they want their players to play other sports, and that just, you know, not only just keeps them not solely focused on football, but allows their athleticism to come out and build that competitive drive. Now, yeah, how is it for you been so far this off season? I know it's still, you know, we're getting into it now. We're almost to the month of August, and now it's really starting to ramp up now. But how has that off season been going for you now that you're not so far behind the eight ball anymore? You're clearly in front of it. You got your feet set. Now you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's been, I guess a lot of my answers could be the same. There's been a lot of ups and a lot of downs with us. We started off, so Parma City Schools went until about June 18th, which, you know, being in school kind of sucks. But for us, we were able to get our kids on that football field. I think we started like May 20th. So having the kids in the building, we don't lose them over the summer. So I think we did like 6 or 7 camps before school let out. And we had some of our highest numbers for 10th through 12th graders. We had, I think, multiple days in the mid to upper 70s with our turnout, which was, I mean, just phenomenal. Great practices. We were able to get 3-4 groups going at a time and stuff. And then the summer hit and, you know, vacations. You got summer baseball nowadays, which seems to be bigger and bigger. And so our numbers have dropped off, and we're trying to iron out some of the consistency right now. It's been tough to have the same 5 linemen. It's been tough to get, you know, we've had a couple practices where we're just down like 2 quarterbacks. So I think now that kind of baseball season ended, you know, vacations are kind of tailoring down, you know, now that it's quote unquote the mandatory practices, we're really hoping to have a good solid 2 weeks to kind of just, yeah, I guess, right the ship a little bit.
Coach, thank you again for taking the time and joining us tonight. I'll talk a little bit about your players. Darius Corwin, Cam Wadsworth, and Sean Frank, Evan Tape are some of the big names to watch out for you guys this year. Just kind of talk about how those guys will be a big impact for your team, and even talk about some of the other players that will be a full force for your team this year.
Okay, so defensively, I think we're probably led by Evan Tappy. He played as a sophomore last year. I think he played every single game. He just, if you looked at him, you know, he might not blow you away with his physique, but his instincts are just amazing. He knows, you know, pass, run reads. He knows where the ball's going. He knows how to attack and stuff like that. He's not afraid to throw his body around. We have a newcomer at middle linebacker, Kawante Houston. He was not able to play last year, but he was one of the kids that came over from Parma High School when they closed down, I guess, a year ago. So he's a kid that if you looked at him, he would pass the eye candy test. Just looks like a physical specimen. He's got a great personality, great leader. So we're hoping that he shores up some of the issues we had at our middle backer. Ethan Anthony, he kind of was a Swiss Army knife. We moved him around a little bit. He played some outside last year. He's playing some inside this year. He'll play some tight end for us, maybe even a little bit of wing back, but he kind of brings that veteran presence. He's not afraid to show his emotions, which is good. And sometimes he's not afraid to challenge us coaches too, I think, which is good. So those guys, we got Darius Corbin. He started every game at cornerback. He's got some length. He does makes great plays on the ball. He also plays our X receiver on offense. So those guys come back. Sean Frank looks to be our quarterback. He's got a good, strong arm. Not that if you know anything about Valley Forge, not that we're slinging it around the field much. I know that disappoints some people, but I think Sean's going to give us some options to. I guess I've really evolved our downfield passing game, like when we want to take shots. And he's a big kid too, so we might go a little more shotgun, let him run north south, just get some good 3, 4, 5 yard carries. So I'm interested to see what he can do. And Cam Wadsworth, he's not quite sure where he fits defensively, but he had this knee brace last year where if you watched him, I joked with him, I'm like, you look like an 80-year-old man hobbling around out there. Without his brace, he looks like a brand new kid this year. So he plays fullback for us. He's running a real good track for us under center. And then maybe one of the kids you might be hearing more and more about is Damon Watts. He'll play our running back. He's a kid I might give the ball to 30, 35 times, depending on how the game goes. And he's yelling at us coaches that he wants to play defense too. So we're going to see how much his body can handle. But that's kind of a good preview of, I guess, some of our players to watch.
Yeah, and if you're playing both ways, like a lot of schools sometimes do, you got to be in great shape. And I know this year, you mentioned before about a leadership group that you started this year. Try to change the culture. How are the kids reacting to the leadership group? Where you nominate some of the kids to take some leadership roles on the team this year.
So we started and again, I steal all these ideas from other coaches that I see online. But we nominated 12 kids. 6 kids were nominated by their peers, and then the coaches picked another 6 just based on like the positions you play or just kids we felt should be leaders and stuff. And again, just like everything else, it's been up and down. So we're off to a little bit of a slow start, but again, I think you got kids on vacation. We had kids missing, our first meeting or two, but we send out little online surveys, just get them thinking about the book, how it relates to football, how it relates to leadership. We take 5 minutes here and there just to talk about, hey, I loved what you did with this kid over here, and hey, did you notice what you did? You bumped into this kid and lost your mind on him, type deal. So I think just trying to bring an awareness about that and not, letting the kids understand that like some of the freshmen are watching you, some of your peers that might be a senior are also watching you. And I don't think kids realize that as much as they really should. So that's, again, just one of the things where we're just trying to move the needle a little bit for things we've done in the past and maybe take a step forward in that aspect of our program.
So one of the major changes that you and a lot of the other teams in your conference are going through is the creation of a new conference. The Cleveland West Conference is replacing the GLC. So a lot of the same teams are still in it for you. Does that make a difference? Is that another change for you? How does the conference change differ for you, if any?
Honestly, it doesn't. I know we're bringing North, like for us and how our schedule plays out. We're bringing in North Olmsted. We played North Olmsted, and again, I don't know their coaching staff, but their head coach has been there pretty much the whole time I've been at Forge. So we've had maybe 14 contests against them, throughout the years. So we're kind of familiar with them. And then the other Westlake, that's the team we just don't know much about. But if anything is like last year, however our team is week 1 and 2, we could be completely different weeks 7, 8, 9. So I try not to get caught up in the, how's this team going to be, because I think we're all in the same boat. That's why I really like our conference. 1 or 2 injuries on anybody's team can really change the dynamics of what's going on. And I really think that any given week, you got some good contests going on between the teams. So,
Well, yeah, to add to that, I guess, a lot of conferences like that sweet spot of 8 teams in the conference because it makes scheduling easier because from COVID on, we've talked to a lot of coaches and scheduling those non-conference games with uneven conference numbers is just a heck of a challenge. So I guess in a sense, that makes it easier for you guys in terms of scheduling those, you're going to have your non-conference games first 3 weeks of the season, and then you're going into conference play, which is to have that consistency, I'm sure is probably one less thing you have to worry about as a head coach.
yeah, that was another thing I guess you'd say for a wake up call that I never had to deal with. Our old head coach, Coach DeAngelis, would maybe, hey, do you like this team or this team? Hey, do you know anything about these guys? So I think our non-conference games were starting to come up, and I didn't realize your teams are scheduling 2, 3 years out. So you're looking at Joe Idle, trying to figure out, well, like, hey, what teams are competitive? Who do they play? Would a Division 4 team come up and play us as Division 2? And so you reach out to some teams, they reach out to you, and it's everyone's trying to schedule a win and stuff. And truthfully, I just wanted a somewhat competitive ball game for our first three. We seem to get tougher games in our first 3, 4 weeks, and then the competitiveness kind of settles in. So it's maybe not an ideal schedule, but it is what it is, and we're kind of used to it by now. So,
Coach, I'll go talk about last year. Last season was a mid-turning point after you played university school, and then you had two big wins last year, Buckeye and your Parma rival school on Normandy. Just kind of talk about how the mid-season turning point changed for you guys and how it prevailed you to win the conference title.
so the university game was interesting because it was a Saturday game. Bus trips, our kids are usually horrible off of a bus trip. I think it was like 2 o'clock. They had a homecoming, and I'll be honest, I don't know if many people expected much out of it. And then knowing we had like an undefeated Buckeye team coming up the following week, and then all of a sudden we just started calling some of our basic plays. And when a trap hits for 7 yards, followed by a buck for 8 yards, like you just start getting this confidence going. We hit a couple of our deep plays, which really kind of sparked some excitement. I think our kids realized, hey, this coach is, Coach Laheta is actually allowed to throw the ball a little bit. So I think we kind of learned some stuff from that. Even though we lost, I think our defensive coaches left figuring out some schematic adjustments that carried over to us for Buckeye. When we played Buckeye, it was really just a confidence thing. Like from day one, we sat the kids down, we showed records, and we said, guys, I think we can, I think we can win this game. And at first, I think they were taken aback, but we just kept repeating it. And I'm like, maybe this is going to go wrong, but we just kind of dove into that. And then the Normandy game was like it's our new renewed rivalry because there's no more Parma High School. So really, it's more of like a east-west side of Parma City Schools type thing going on. And that was just an awesome game. It was a great treat for all the fans that were there. We had an awesome youth night that we're trying to like kind of build in our, I guess, community a little bit more. So just between those, I think the kids realized, look, we can play football, we can be physical when we want to be, and really it didn't go our way the rest of our way, but I think we were competitive, And I tell the kids, if we can compete, then you never know what can happen in a 4-quarter game. So.
We're talking with Valley Forge head coach Matthew Laheta here on Sports on Tap. And coach, going from last season into this season, you start off on the road against Gilmore Academy. Then you have 3 home games against North Ridgeville, Garfield Heights, and then into conference play with Rocky River. Talk a little bit about your schedule this season. You got some really good games in the beginning. I know Gilmore Academy is improved and a tough team, and it seems like you and North Ridgeville always seem to match up one year, whether it's playoffs or in season. So talk a little bit about your schedule coming up this season.
Yeah, I think like this was part of my challenge to our kids. Like, let's be ready. Some of our tougher games are front loaded. And again, you truly never know what you're going into, especially week one. Did they change their offense? Did they change their defense? There's teams where we could see their defense in their scrimmages, but because of our style of offense, they give us a completely different look. So truthfully, we try not to worry too much about it. We'll do a little bit of digging on shows like this and just kind of listen for some of their better players, try to get their numbers. Um, but it's just tough early on because you don't have enough film on some of these teams too. A lot of times, like us playing, well, now that we played Gilmore as well, we'll go back, we'll use last year's film. Just most of the times, if teams beat us, if they had success against us, there's a good chance they're just going to line up the same way and try to out talent us to a victory type deal. So sometimes that helps us once we see them on film. But truthfully, you just try not to get caught up in things. You really try to focus on ourselves. Let's get everyone at practice tomorrow. Let's try to move 2 steps forward. Let's try to get better at this aspect of our, offense or defense. And really, we just take it 1 week at a time. That's all we can do.
Well, good news. I mean, if you stick around, we're going to have North Ridgeville head coach Bryan Morgan on next, so maybe get some keys for that one.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned the youth program, and you face another challenge that a lot of head coaches do not face, is the fact that you have another public school in the same community with you, where it was 3, now it's down to 2, where you both are trying to build the youth program up. you know, I'll be truthful. I don't know how Parma runs their youth program, but I would assume that's another challenge that you have to dive into of trying to build it up in a certain way that would fit the need of the Patriots.
Yeah, it's definitely been a struggle. The way I view it is we're trying to, kind of start top down. We're trying to get our middle schools on board. And then once those guys are on board, then maybe trickle down to the youth programs. We used to have I think it was called like Tri-City football. A couple years, I think around COVID, that just kind of disbanded and never came back. There was another youth program, the Seminoles. We've been in touch with some of their coaches and stuff, but we're kind of in an area where just because you get a kid down there in say 4th or 5th grade, there's, I don't know what the percentage, but there's no guarantee that kid's coming up to one of our high schools, whether they decide to move to a different community, whatever it is. So that it's been tough. And I think that's one of the differences between what we face. Normie's coach, Ian Cost, I think we do a nice job of kind of working together. We're not really trying to step on anyone's toes. Mm-hmm. Our problems are the same. Our problems are different than, somebody else's problem, say 15 minutes down the road. So we just kind of do what we can. We tried that youth night last year. We tried like a youth combine, like camp type thing this year. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to try taking one little step at a time. And again, just like whatever we've done in the past, can we just get a little bit better at it and kind of look at it that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting in Parma, especially with all the different schools in such close proximity, to see what kind of direction they're going to go. But Valley Forge has had such a good program. DeAngelis was a great coach there. He did a great job too. And he was always a pleasure to talk to. But, you have some really good conference games, obviously, this year, non-conference. Coach, we want to thank you for coming on our show on the Summer Spotlight on the high school football preview and talking to us a little bit about Valley Forge Patriot football. We look forward to covering you this season and wish you nothing but the best of luck in the 2024 season.
All right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for what you guys do to kind of promote our sport, but it's been great being here. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And enjoy that man cave. I'm pretty impressed. It looks like you're ready for Brown season back there. I like it.
Yeah, that's kind of my little hideaway during the fall is I kind of come down here and get away from my wife and the dogs and kind of my quiet area. So whenever I get a chance, this is kind of my area. So,
I know. I saw all that Brown stuff. I'm like, man, he's ready for Brown season coming up. That's right around the corner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. That's Valley Forge Patriot head coach Matthew Laheta here on Sports on Tap. I want to thank him for joining us. Just great to talk to some of these coaches. Everyone is in a different situation. It's nice that a lot of these coaches seem like they can reach out to other coaches and help each other. It's like a community. And, Valley Forge, I mean, it's crazy. He's been around the game of football, probably 20 plus years where he's been coaching football. And I think he's on the right track with Valley Forge, especially last year. Can they thrive off of that GLC East title, because they won some big games in the end of last season, right when you thought maybe that team could, they lose a game here, they get right back up and kept winning and made it to the playoffs against a very good North Ridgeville team who keeps getting better. And we'll talk to Coach Morgan coming up. But guys, what do you think? Valley Forge continuing kind of like North Ridgeville here. I feel like they're on the same path. They continue to get better.
Well, you know, just hearing Coach talk, he's dealing. He's got some challenges that there's not many other coaches that really have to deal with. Um, you had a couple years ago, you had Parma disintegrate basically, and kids had to join new. So you bringing in some new players. We talked to a couple of them last year. They had great seasons for Valley Forge, and he. Not to mention that, but he's coming in his second year. Last year was his first year. Big win against Buckeye. So that's really good. I appreciate his honesty when he was talking about some of the challenges that he's facing as a coach at the program, at the school he's at. He's obviously, he knows the responsibility he has to build that, and so far he's doing a good job. Those kind of wins against like a Buckeye and making the playoffs. Those are the kind of things that build programs. We've seen it. We've witnessed it, fellas. I mean, we'll be talking to Coach Morgan in North Ridgeville. That's another program who they struggled for a long time, but all you need to do is have that one successful year. You have, a couple, players that are looking to go D1. That helps build a program, and that helps jumpstart your youth program. And we reiterate it all the time that youth program is very important. The coaches reiterate all the time how important that youth program is, and we see a good example of it there.
Yeah, definitely, Josh. And it was kind of what I was talking with Coach about, like the mid-season point, like after a loss against University School, the two big wins, Buckeye and Normandy, and how they set them up with the three-way tie to win the GLC East, and then going into the playoff game against North Ridgeville. Not the way they wanted to, but a great effort against a very good North Ridgeville team, and then just kind of set up the great momentum for them going into this new conference, which I think is going to be a very tough conference, competing against possibly one of the best teams in that. So, again, great interview with Coach Laheta with Valley Forge, and big things ahead of him coming up as North Ridgeville. Coach Morgan will be coming out very, very soon.
Yeah, and
go ahead, Rob.
No, go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to say, just to rehash in case people out there watching don't know, the Great Lakes Conference kind of disbanded last year, and 8 public schools formed the new Cleveland West Conference. It's going to include Bay, Buckeye, Lakewood, Normandy, North Olmsted, Rocky River, Valley Forge, and Westlake. So pretty much all teams in the same kind of boat. Probably, obviously led by Rocky River. Bay, those are the two stalwarts, but you're adding teams in there like Buckeye. Buckeye, when they joined the GLC a few years ago, they kind of came in with some success, and they're one of the lead dogs. So this is going to be one of the more intriguing conferences. I know Ed's really looking forward to getting back to covering, North Olmsted and Westlake, especially adding those teams into it. It's going to be a fun little conference too. I don't mean little conference, but it's going to be a fun conference to really see how things shake out. And it's going to be highly competitive, like Noah said. I agree totally.
Yeah, and with North Ridgeville, one thing Coach Morgan has taken over in 2021, they were 3-7, and before that they were, I think they only had a few wins. So, in 2021 they were 3-7 for the North Ridgeville Rangers. In 2022 they went to 5-5. And then last year, a 7-3 record. They won 3 out of their last 4 games in 2024, with their loss coming in the playoffs to Highland. That was a 28-7 loss, but they beat Valley Forge in the first round of the playoffs. And I think Coach Morgan, he coached basketball at North Ridgeville before he got the head coaching job, but he did coach around, whether it was Black River he coached at, Brooklyn. He coached in different places to prepare him for the North Ridgeville job, and just an impressive job every year, getting better and better. And I think he was trying to install that culture change too there. As I had a chance to talk to him during the season last year after some games. But what a great feat! 2023 in the Southwestern Conference, he was the coach of the year. So I'm giving him a little introduction as we wait for him here. We'll see if we can get him on. Send him a message, just letting him know that we were ready for him. But we'll see. He might be busy right now, but we'll see when we can get him on here. He's into his fourth season with a 7-3 record last year, and this year he brings back a lot of returning players. So I'm interested to see how this North Ridgeville team, their main quarterback got hurt last year, but they still, I thought, finished really strong. And one of their key wins was that Olmsted Falls game. I think it was a 10-3 game. But they play Avon mid-season. They start off with 2 away games, North Olmsted and Valley Forge, then North Royalton, and then they jump in with Olmsted Falls and Avon in back-to-back conference games. I mean, that's tough. Although you have Olmsted Falls home and Avon away, so some tough games there to start the season. But we'll see how they start, if they start on the right foot there in the beginning of the season.
I totally agree, Rob. And we always say the Southwestern Conference is, as Sean calls it, the meat grinder of the conferences. But like you said, victories, and we mentioned it against Valley Forge with a victory against Buckeye. Victories against the top stalwarts in your conference, for example, for North Ridgeville, Olmsted Falls, that victory. Those are the program builders. Those let your players know what you're doing as a coach works. They're buying in. They're seeing the results of their work starting in June, July, August. Their work is paying off. Now, Avon, what you want to do is you want to be competitive and you want to be able to get to them. Maybe you get them on a day where they're not necessarily feeling it. And a win against an Avon, who is predominantly a state champion contender every year, that is also a program builder. But North Ridgeville is building that. They're able to do it. They have the newer stadium. Their student section, we've been to a lot of games there, Rob. Their student section is awesome. They're getting a lot of community buy-in. Rob, you live in North Ridgeville, so
Yeah.
you could probably see it firsthand on what it's like when the Rangers have those Friday night games.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that stadium has been huge. The community really comes together. We see it really in a lot of places, but in North Ridgeville, it's a great stadium, a great atmosphere. That Avon North Ridgeville game last year, it was highly competitive for the first half. I think it was 21-7 at half, and the Rangers fans were hyped. I mean, they were loud, they were crazy, and you could tell the players were ready for it. Avon's just a strong team, but you love seeing a packed house on both sides. I mean, it felt like a playoff game, kind of, and that's where North Ridgeville's community comes together. Every community does, but that's why you love high school football. Friday night, there's nothing like playing under the lights in front of everyone in the community and against maybe your rival or a lot of teams in the Southwestern Conference and Suburban League and Great Lakes. Well, now the different name now. All these games are kind of in the same vicinity, so they're neighbors for the most part, and it's fun to watch. That's why you love the game of high school football, and we're excited to get this season started. What we'll do right now, let's take a short break. Let's play some of our sponsors, and we'll see if we can get Coach on here, and hopefully he'll be able to come on tonight. If not, we'll try to get him on another time, but I know he was able to come on tonight, but he hasn't come yet. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll see if we can get Coach Morgan, or we'll at least go over a few of the players that I have here from last year that had some nice season, had a good season for North Ridgeville, and then call it a night. But again, this is Sports on Tap Summer Spotlight. I'm Rob Troutman. We will be right back.
Sports on Tap Summer Spotlight is presented by Raymond Felton State Farm.
Have you compared insurance rates lately? Are you satisfied with your current insurance provider? If not, look no further than Ray Felton State Farm, a proud sponsor of Sports on Tap. For a free quote, call his office at 234-284-2996 or visit him online at rayfelton.com.
Whether you're hosting a corporate event, wedding, conference, concert, or any other special gathering, our comprehensive range of services will exceed your expectations and elevate your event to new heights. RRT Productions. We shoot, we edit, you win. Visit our website at www.rrt-productions.com.
Hand and built leather goods. Leather goods built for life. Made by hand in the USA, all goods are made with veg tanned leather. Some of the best quality around and made by a U.S. veteran. Check out their website, www.handbuiltleather.com.
We've got the experience, the passion, and the beach to make your event a smash hit. Whether it's a romantic wedding, a lively sports venue, or a rocking high school dance, Troutland Entertainment has you covered. Contact them at 330-414-4261 or email them at troutlandent@gmail.com. That's troutlandent@gmail.com.
All right, welcome back to Sports on Tap's Summer Spotlight Series. High school football preview show. We had a chance to talk to Valley Forge Patriots head coach Matthew Laheta in the first at 8 o'clock. We talked to him in the first part of the show. We weren't able to get in touch with Coach Morgan, so we'll see if we can get him on another time, and we'll talk a little bit of Rangers football. But want to thank Coach Matthew Laheta for coming on and talking to us. Guys, it was a fun show talking to him, and I think he's going to be in for a really good season at Valley Forge, and you could tell he's on the right track. He's doing some fun things. I thought with that leadership role, I thought was kind of cool that these guys have something to play for and have some fun with, and get some of these kids to believe in that culture, and I think they're on the right track to having a continued success there, and it was really good to talk to him, and not only that, to see his cool man cave for him a little bit. The Brown season's right around the corner, right?
You are jealous.
I loved when during COVID when we got a chance to see the office and the memorabilia in the back. It's always cool to see where these coaches are at and what they're doing, and that's what makes this show kind of fun, talking to the different coaches.
Right, and I agree with you with talking to Coach tonight. We'll reschedule with Coach Morgan for sure. We would like to talk North Ridgeville Rangers football. They got a lot of good things going on, as all the other coaches and teams that we've talked to and we will talk to here in the future. I mean, face it, guys, we got a little less than 3 weeks until week 1, and we're slowly but surely talking amongst ourselves about our week 1 games we're going to cover. We're not going to announce any yet. We're going to see how things go, but it's fun to talk about. Looking forward to getting back into it. One thing I'm looking forward to as well is having all 5 of us back on one show. I know it's been a little sporadic, busy summer for all of us, so I've been kind of part-time lately, so I appreciate you guys stepping up and taking some of my work. You guys are doing a great job. Just wanted to get that out there. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun season. And I mean, Dr. Hoops is going to be out there. Although we'll have to come up, maybe Dr. Pigskin. I don't know. Would that be a good one for you? I don't know if that one goes. But Dr. Hoops, if you want to go back and look at some of our content, he had a chance to interview Mark Price on a fun interview as he was out in Medina at doing his basketball camp. No, what was that experience like? I mean, that's just some of the experience you can have here on Sports on Tap. He's our main guy out there, going all over the place, interviewing all kinds of people. You did a great job on that interview. What was it like to talk to former Cavs legend Mark Price?
Well, first of all, thank you for mentioning that. And first of all, I want to thank Medina Bees basketball boys head coach, Chris Hassiger, for allowing me to take the time to set up that interview with Mark Price. Just a really great guy to be around. And
Absolutely.
like you said, it was great to talk with Mark Price and that just kind of talk about how his camps have been kind of starting around. I know this is the third straight year he's been doing this, third straight year going into Medina. And he's kind of had some other cities kind of like involved into this, which is pretty cool. Trying to get some younger kids and just kind of talking to him about what's it like been teaching the game of basketball, and even talking about some of the favorite Cavs memories that he had. I remember he was talking about his favorite Cavs memory was 1992, the Eastern Conference semifinal, Game 7 against Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics. That was a pretty cool memory to have. And just kind of talking about being around some of the Cavs coaches from the past, like Lenny Wilkins, just a great guy to be around, like you said. And even some of the former teammates, Brad Daugherty. I mean, the list goes on and on. But just like a great guy to be around, like Christian guy. That's what you want.
Yeah,
But
he was a great. He's always been very very nice. Even though he's not living in this area, he still comes back and he's well known in this area. I mean, that Cavs team was a hardworking Cavs team that really knew how to get the job done. Although they had some tough matchups with Larry Bird and those Celtics.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I don't want to remember that, but I mean, I just remember them playing Larry Bird and the Celtics. I think they did scoop by him a few times, but it was always Michael Jordan.
They did. They ended Larry Bird's career. 1992.
Man. We'll have to get Larry. Maybe we could get Larry and Mark to talk about that coming on our show.
Well, one thing that you hear a lot about Mark Price is that he's severely underrated as one of the top point guards of his era. Late 80s, early 90s. Like, he was a stone cold killer when it comes to shooting 3-pointers and free throws, and not to mention pushing the ball. The dude was an awesome ball handler, and he doesn't get the recognition that many others during that era do. So, yeah, like you said, Rob and Noah, great job. That was a great interview. Good to hear him talk about stuff from the past and what he's doing now, helping kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was cool to see. But, that's Dr. Hoops will be out. Josh Jeffy will be out at one point. Professor Hype will be out at one point covering games, and yours truly will be out as well. So we'll have some fun getting out and about when that time comes. It's going to be here before you know it, but we'll try to get some more coaches on for next Monday's show at 8 o'clock. Go to sportsontappodcast.com. We're on Twitter, or X now. We're all over on Instagram. Go to our YouTube and subscribe, because anytime we have a show or a video upload, you're going to get an email that shows you what we uploaded from what game. You'll find interviews and all kinds of cool stuff. So go there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get involved with the show. We're always very grateful for the players, the coaches, the athletic directors, the fans especially. I know we had an email from actually another person that isn't from any of the conferences we cover, asking us if we're going to come out, and we'll see if we can do that. But it's tough with getting out to our conference games, so we'll have to see about that. But want to thank everyone really for watching and being a part of our show. Guys, any last thoughts?
Yeah, one last thing. If you can't watch us, you can listen to us on Spotify. Make sure you remember that too. Spotify. Yeah, give us a follow on Spotify, and if you want, you could throw us a 5-star rating too. That would be helpful.
That's right. We're all over the place, so it's always fun here on Sports on Tap, and we're lucky to have some good viewers that like to watch what we do. So thanks for watching, and listen to our sponsors. Hand-built leather goods. Go to their website. They make all kinds of great products. Noah can attest to that. He has a leather backpack. They make dog collars. They make wallets that last forever. All kinds of different products, that are made of leather. Your wife, wants a handbag. There you go. There's one. There you go, Noah, right there. Look how nice that is. And that thing lasts forever because it's that premier leather that he knows how to make. He was just in town, too. So I want to thank him. We have Raymond Felton State Farm as one of our main supporters. You'll see them. RRT Productions, Troutland Entertainment, and you could be a sponsor on this upcoming high school football season show. Yeah. Contact Sports on Tap Podcast at gmail.com if you want to support our high school football or high school athletic coverage. We're trying to grow it. And we need your help. So sponsors are, there is sponsorships available. So let us know and we can send you some information. All right. For Ed Dick, who's out on assignment, Sean Duffy's also out on assignment. Josh Jeffy, Noah Jacobson, thanks for being here. I'm Rob Troutman. Want to thank you for watching and listening. Again, we'll see you next Monday night at 8 p.m. We're Sports on Tap. It's Summer Spotlight, high school football preview show. We'll see you next time.
Sports on Tap Summer Spotlight is presented by Raymond Felton State Farm.
Have you compared insurance rates lately? Are you satisfied with your current insurance provider? If not, look no further than Ray Felton State Farm, a proud sponsor of Sports on Tap. For a free quote, call his office at 234-284-2996 or visit him online at rayfelton.com.
Whether you're hosting a corporate event, wedding, conference, concert, or any other special gathering, our comprehensive range of services will exceed your expectations and elevate your event to new heights. RRT Productions. We shoot, we edit, you win. Visit our website at www.rrt-productions.com.
Hand and built leather goods. Leather goods built for life. Made by hand in the USA, all goods are made with veg tanned leather. Some of the best quality around and made by a U.S. veteran. Check out their website, www.handbuiltleather.com.
We've got the experience, the passion, and the beach to make your event a smash hit. Whether it's a romantic wedding, a lively sports venue, or a rocking high school dance, Troutland Entertainment has you covered. Contact them at 330-414-4261 or email them at troutlandent@gmail.com. That's troutlandent@gmail.com.